Hey, what's up guys? Welcome to the What a Deck profile for the Anti-Meta Spirit deck, aka Hardleg Spirits 2016. I'm just going to go through and name off all the cards and I'll explain how they work in the deck. So we've got 3 Tragoedia, 1 hino-kago-tsuchi, 3 Gorz, the Emissary of Darkness, 2 Dark Dust Spirit, 3 Yamato-no-Kami, 2 Mega Space Chicken, 3 Yaksha, 1 Rasetsu, 3 Aratama, 3 Nikitama, 2 Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit, 3 Max C, 3 Battle Fader, 2 Effect Veiler, 3 Creature Swap, and 3 the Monarch Storm 4th. For our extra deck, got 1 Star Eater, 1 Gigantic Castle, 1 Clearwing Synchro Dragon, 1 Black Rose Dragon, 1 Ally of Justice Catastor, 1 Formula Synchron, 1 Number 39 Utopia Beyond, 1 Photon Strike Bouncer, 1 Gauntlet Launcher, 1 Silent Honor Arc, Giant Hand, Castell, Steel Swarm Roach, Gaga Cowboy, and Slacker Magician. So this is quite the interesting deck. It's kind of like a toolbox. It reacts to your opponent depending on what you want to do. It's basically 1/2 spirit monsters and 1/2 hand traps. So I guess I'll just go through that one at a time. So the spirit monsters, they all have the same effect that during the end phase of the turn they're summoned, they return to their owner's hand. So they never stay on the field, so that's part of the anti-meta thing. By not keeping a field presence, you prevent certain decks from doing things because you don't keep a monster on the field a lot of the times. It also lets you reuse a lot of their effects. A lot of them get effects when they're summoned and stuff. Yaksha, when he's summoned, you can return 1 spell trap your opponent controls to the hand, which is a good way to get rid of continuous things like Toon Kingdom that can't be destroyed. And also just getting rid of back row in general so you can attack for like 1900. Rasetsu, he lets you target 1 attack position monster your opponent controls, return it to the hand. You can't special summon during the turn you do that, but this gets rid of things like Beals and other big like extra deck monsters and stuff. As long as it can be targeted, this thing will get rid of it. Aratama, when it's summoned, will let you search any spirit monster out, which is why we only play 1 of him and 2 of Dark Dust Spirit and Feng Shuang. This guy searches them out. Speaking of which, Dark Dust Spirit, he's a tribute, so he's a little more difficult to get out, but he destroys all face-up monsters on the field when he's summoned. And Feng Shuang is also 1 tribute and destroys all set spell traps your opponent controls when he's summoned. So this gets rid of all the back row, this gets rid of all the monsters and lets you attack directly. And because this searches out, this will let you get whichever one you happen to need. So how do you tribute summon these guys? There's a couple ways. The main way is Nikitama. When this card is normal summoned, or during the turn this card is normal summoned, you can normal summon another spirit monster in addition to your normal summoner set. So not only does this let you, like, you can normal summon Nikitama, normal summon Aratama, and then make rank 4 plays. You can make rank 4s with Yaksha or with Rasetsu, and then like send something back and attack for that extra 800. But you can also normal summon and then tribute summon using Nikitama as the material. So if you've got this in either of your tributes, then you can get them out. He has an additional effect that if he's sent to the graveyard while you control a spirit monster, you'll draw 1 card. So tributing him actually activates that effect because you'll have a spirit monster face up on the field when he hits the graveyard. So he's pretty good, and again, you could search him out, but you want to play 3 of him because he's pretty important. The only other spirit monster is Yamato-no-Kami. He can be special summoned by banishing 1 spirit monster from your graveyard. So again, looking back on that play, like, normal summon Nikitama, normal summon Dark Dust Spirit on top of that. He blows up everything. You draw a card. Then you banish Nikitama to get Yamato-no-Kami. You attack for 44 because they both have 2200. And then they're both level 6, and so is Feng Shuang. So you can get these 2 together to make your rank 6 plays. Most likely Photon Strike Bouncer, who will negate effects. You can also blow up more monsters if your opponent happens to have them with a Gauntlet Launcher. Or Utopia Beyond, who makes all monsters your opponent controls attack 0, which is great for getting around things that can't be targeted and maybe can't be destroyed. You just deal a massive amount of damage to them. Because this guy has 3,000, and if you can get multiple monsters on board, then you're good. The only other spirit monster I run is Hino-kago-tsuchi. He requires 2 tributes. But if he inflicts battle damage to your opponent, they have to discard their entire hand. So he could be, like, devastating if you manage to get his effect off. Which, of course, you can't just Nikitama into him because you need 2. That's why we also play the Monarch Storm 4th. This will let you tribute your opponent's monsters, If they just have one that you need to get rid of, especially in like Cosmos and stuff, you can tribute it for Fen Shuang, and then not only have you gotten rid of their monster, but you're blowing up all their spell traps or blowing up the rest of their monsters. Or if you have Nikitama, you could summon this, activate Storm Forth, and then tribute both for Hino-kago-tsuchi, draw a card, attack, destroy their whole hand. There's a lot of combos and stuff you can pull off with this. We've also got a bunch of hand traps. 3 of them, Tragoedia, Gorz, and Battle Fader. You special summon from your hand when your opponent declares a direct... what was it? With these two, it's if you get damage inflicted to you, and with this, it's a direct attack. With both of these, you'll have to take the damage first. Gorz will summon himself, plus a token who has attack equal to the damage you took. So if your opponent has a really high attack monster, and you can't get over it with the 2200 or by destroying it, then you can get a token and just ram the token into it, suicide it away, and attack after that. Tragoedia, he has question marks attack, but he'll gain 600 for every card in your hand. And because the spirits come back to your hand, you often end up with 6 cards in your hand, 7 during your turn. So he'll have like between 3,000 and 4,200 attack. He can be pretty devastating. In addition, he has 2 other effects. One, he can discard a card, and you can take control of a monster your opponent controls who has the same level as the card you discarded. That's the main reason we play hino-kago-tsuchi, mostly just as a discard for level 8. If your opponent attacks with like a level 8 synchro monster, you could special summon Tragoedia, normal summon Aratama to add this to your hand, and then discard it to take control of whatever monster they have. You can also control level 6s, level 4s, level 3, 2, 1. You have access to almost every level just in the base deck. And then the side deck, a lot of these like Yamato Dragon, Great Longnose, that's 5 and 7. And the only reason I play them in the side deck is against certain decks I will side these in so that I can steal monsters with Tragoedia. Also stealing monsters is creature swap. Each player chooses one monster they control, swaps control of those monsters. They can't change their battle positions. So that's a permanent change. You give them their monster, they give you a monster. And if they have no monster to choose from but the one, then they have to give you that one. But it doesn't target, it doesn't destroy, so it gets rid of a lot of things too, along with like the Monarch Storm Forth. Like if your opponent has Cosmos, it'll force them to give you, like, they'll give you your Dark Destroyer. And the neat thing with that, with like the spirits, is that the spirits return to their owner's hand. So if you normal summon this guy and creature swap it, Nikitama will come back to your hand at the end phase. So you just get to keep that. Of course, you can also like normal summon, give them Nikitama, and then attack over Nikitama once you creature swap it, because since you'll have another spirit monster, you'll get to draw that card. So there's a little extra advantage there. Most of the time, you just want to take it back. You've also got like 0 attack monsters like Ghost Ogre, Snow Rabbit, Effect Veiler, and Battle Fader. You can creature swap those as well, just to give them a 0 attack point monster and attack per game. And those 3 make up, along with Maxi or other hand traps. This is just draw power. Any deck that plays Battle Fader can take the Maxi challenge. Just let them special summon as much, because you have so many things that stop you from getting OTK'd by summoning things in the way of that, like, this is really advantageous for you. Of course, Ghost Ogre can blow up cards when they activate their effects, and Effect Veiler can negate those effects. We play 2 of each, just because I couldn't decide which was better. The side deck contains 1 more copy of each one. Preferably during the second duel, you would, against things that can't be targeted, swap out your Effect Veilers, and against things that can't be destroyed, you swap out the Yuki Asagis, and you just take whichever one works best for you. And I think that covers everything in the main deck. The extra deck is really diverse because of all the things you can make. Because we play level 1s, there's a chance you can get 2 of them, along with like Effect Veiler and a Battle Fader, and make Slacker Magician to stall. You can make rank 4s pretty easily. Got a little toolbox here. Steel Swarm Roach in particular, I'm finding really good anti-meta against this format, because it helps shut down Cosmos and Monarchs. Because they both have higher than level 5 attack. Well, it doesn't shut down Monarchs, actually. They have to special summon. But Cosmos it shuts down by negating their summons and stuff like that. Level 6s, as I said, you can make with the yamato-no-kami and either of your tribute summons. Oh, I forgot to mention, Tragoedia has 1 more effect, because he doesn't have enough effects. You could target 1 monster in your graveyard, and his level will become the same as that monster's level. So if you happen to get Tragoedia when you only have like one card in hand, you can target like one of these in your graveyard, make him level 4, and then you've got rank 4 plays suddenly. Likewise, you can target one of your Fenschwengs or one of your Dark Duck spirits, make him level 6, and then you've got a rank 6 play. If you have him and Effect Veiler, that's how you can make pretty much any synchro depending on what you have in your graveyard. Likewise, Yuki Asagi with that. You can make level 2, level 5, level 7, 9, even level 11. If you happen to get Hino-kago-tsuchi in the graveyard, you can take his level, become level 8, and then play Yuki Asagi and make Star Eater. So just a bunch of options. You could fill this in with a whole bunch of different stuff. In my own side deck, I often keep other options for the extra deck just because it's so diverse. Against certain decks, Ragna Zero and Force Focus can be really, really effective. And then the rest of the side deck, as I said, I keep these for different levels. Azure Priest is another good level 4 spirit. She can attack all monsters your opponent controls once each, which against things that swarm or things that use like tokens and stuff like that can be really effective. I play another Rasetsu because against certain decks he's also really good, decks with big boss monsters, if they can still be targeted. He's sort of fallen out of favor with a lot of these non-targeting monsters. Likewise with Tsukiyomi, you can flip a monster face down against certain decks. Having one of her is really good because again, searchable. And then right now for the current meta, I would really suggest Grave of the Super Ancient Organism. Because again, it shuts down Cosmos and it shuts down a couple other like high-level decks. And Soul Exchange. The big flaw with the Monarch Storm 4th is you can't summon from your extra deck the turn you use it. So if you tribute for Dark Dust Spirit and then make Yamato, you can't then put something on the field to block if you don't have any of your like battle faders. But with this, you give up your attack, but then you can Ixie summon and stuff like that after you've tributed their monsters. So against certain decks, this is actually superior to the Monarch Storm 4th, at least in this deck, because you use such a robust extra deck. So there you go. Like I said, it's kind of complicated, but it's really fun. I'd really suggest it. I would love to see spirits become more popular. They're like one of my favorite archetypes. Next week, I'll be hitting you up with something new. Hopefully some Morphages, if I can get them to work. Until then, good luck. Have fun.